Okay, hello everyone. Today's topic is the role of artificial intelligence in customer experience or CX. And in particular, how we ensure that in our digital future, AI helps to deliver positive experiences for both the customer service agents and the customers. And to help me discuss this, I am very pleased to say that I'm joined today by Enid Weiss, who is the Chief Marketing Officer at NICE. Welcome, Enid.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Very good. So maybe before we get into the content, it would be worth you giving us a bit of your background and what you do, and maybe a brief overview of who NICE is.
Absolutely. So I have been with NICE actually for 14 years. Um, and throughout the years, together with the company, I went through multiple transformations when it comes to my own role, but also I'm very proud to to be in this journey with the
Mm,
company. Um, I actually started in product management, and today I'm the CMO of the company. So throughout these 14 years, I saw how customer service evolved. I'm very proud to see what our customers are doing with our solutions, and we'll get to that. And as a company, our mission really is to turn customer service into a real customer experience. And we've been working with the largest organizations across multiple verticals and across multiple countries around the globe to really help them transform their own customer service operation.
very good. So where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining you from, I want to say sunny, but not so sunny and cold New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. I'm originally from Israel, but I've been living in New Jersey for the last 12 years and loving it.
Very good. So, as we are at the beginning of a new year, maybe we can discuss AI and customer experience. And when we talk about AI and CX, we tend to talk about chatbots, but AI plays a much bigger role in the customer journey. How do you see the role of AI in customer service and customer experience?
So, first and foremost, AI is not entirely new
No.
in the world of CX and in general, but we do see a much wider adoption of AI and operationalization of AI across the board. And when I think of our mission, or what I would like to see, is to kind of stop the association, right, between AI and chatbots. You asked about chatbots. But yes, indeed, the usage of AI is much, much wider. There are three things that are actually driving this mass adoption of AI and it becoming such an important part of creating a customer experience and also just understanding customers and employees in the customer experience area. One is customers, people are becoming more and more digital. And this is actually happening exponentially. The pandemic pushed a lot of that, but just in general, everybody across generations, across countries, we all became digital, and organizations are actually in a bit of a catch up mode to catch up with that exponential pace. And that's one thing that is pushing the adoption of AI. The second is really that hiring, retaining, and really find good, loyal employees is becoming both difficult and very, very expensive. And we'll get to that later to some examples about how AI actually helps with that as well. And third, we really cannot ignore the macroeconomic situation. Um, a lot of uncertainty, a much, much stronger push toward operational efficiency. And what we see with our customers is that they're constantly looking for new ways and better ways and more uh, just more, well, innovative ways is what I wanted to say. Sorry. What we see is that our customers are really looking for much better and more innovative ways to create operational efficiency, of course, without damaging, at the end of the day, customer experience and the loyalty toward their brand. So, if you like, these are the three forces that are
Mm.
pushing AI forward. And specifically in the world of CX, again, I'm going back to your comment about chatbots. For many years, a lot of organizations that we work with have been trying to create or to deflect interactions to self service, to become more efficient and reduce the number of calls that are going into contact centers. And these days, there is a realization that the I in AI is really the most important part, right? So, creating an intelligent way to provide self service, to engage employees, and to create automation is really what AI is for CX.
Very good. This is interesting. So you talk about AI, in particular the I enabling self-service. Um, how is this technology enabling this?
So I'll give you an example. One of the customers that we're working with, it's a telco, and in one of our conversations, they actually said something very interesting. What they're actually trying to do with self service is, again, not to push calls away, right? But rather to have their most intelligent agent, their best agent, in every part of the customer journey. And if you think about it, what characterizes the best agent is the fact that they're highly intelligent, they have high IQ, but also a high EQ, so that they can understand what's standing in front of them. They can take fast decisions that are informed. So, their mission really is to create that, whether you're chatting with a chatbot or trying to do something use on your mobile app and so forth. And this is really their mission.
Hmm.
When we started drilling down into what does it take to really do that, one of the most important realizations that again we learned from them is that there are about 1,500 ways to express the same intent. So it's not enough to just map the actions that you want to automate and then have a bot that or a chatbot that knows how to address them. The most important thing really is to understand those intents. So when you think about the role of AI for an organization like that, it's really the ability to take historical data of conversations between humans and service, understand them, and create the same level of experience with an unattended or self-service channel.
Interesting. So with this trend towards digital self-service, how do you think brands will change the way they interact with their customers?
So there are many things that brands are going to do. First and foremost, there is very important delineation between providing good service and providing good personalized self-service, right? So first and foremost, brands will have to find ways to understand their customers as more and more interactions are being pushed to or moved to self-service, to still have that level of intimate understanding of who's standing in front of you, which is going to be extremely important. Another aspect is that as we become more digital, and this we have a great example of a retailer that one of our customers that realized that actually most of the service interactions they're not even aware of, right? They're not happening with the contact center. They're not even happening with a chatbot. They're happening over Google search. If you think about how you consume basically everything, right? First of all, you do your own research. Uh, and what they realized is that actually projecting knowledge proactively so that every Google search actually brings that person to the right page, that page on their website has the right information in a consumable way that is really answering what someone maybe didn't even directly ask, actually helps them create a really, really positive experience, right? So it's not, we think about service as kind of a bi-directional communication sometimes, but in many, many cases, it starts way, way before. So one is really meeting customers where they are in the way that they want to be met, right? The second thing that brands will start doing more and more, and again, another communication provider that we work with realized that even that is sometimes too late. And what they're really doing is they're using proactive conversational AI, right? So they would contact you before you even contact them for service, right? They'll know when you're up for renewal, or sometimes when, if there's, for example, some sort of a problem in the area where you live, they can actually proactively outreach to you via a text message. And again, using AI, create a conversation that creates a good experience, right? So you kind of feel that you're chatting with a human, you'll get the right answers. They'll stop texting you if you don't want to be texted, and so forth. So one is meeting customers where they are in an intelligent way, and the other is doing it proactively.
Yeah, super interesting. What other industry trends do you see coming to the fore in the next 12 to 18 months or so?
So first of all, anything that has to do with making self-service enjoyable. I think that for many, many years, the perception was that it's just an operational matter. Again, as I said, just something that needs to be done. But now there is a trend of really turning this into an experience, definitely. Um, the second thing that I see is, or that I see coming, and we see the beginning of it, I referred to uh, employee engagement, right? Hiring, retaining, and so forth. Um, Creating that level of engagement really requires very deep understanding of the employee side, just like organizations would with their customers. And when we look at that side of things, again, for many, many years, um, organizations had to train employees to adapt to the technology that they have in their tech stack. Now the trend is really to make sure that technology works for the employee. So, for example, organizations that we work with are really looking for automation opportunities, right? Looking at things that their employees simply don't like to do and automate them, leaving the more comprehensive tasks for the employees. And that actually turns them into better employers. They're more attractive, people enjoy working there, their Glassdoor profiles are better, and so forth, right? So this is definitely something that, with the tools that are available today, it is attainable. And this is another trend that we're definitely seeing. The third one, and this has to do with the operational efficiency and the drive to just create a cleaner, I would say, infrastructure in order to achieve that smart self-service and understanding employees and giving them what they need. A lot of organizations find themselves with a very, very complicated tech stack, with sometimes tens of different solutions that they have to maintain and renew and connect and integrate and make sure that data flows correctly between all of them. And we do see a trend of trying to unify, trying to move to a more cohesive platform, or the way we refer to it as a suite form, right? A platform that also has a suite of solutions that is fully integrated. So that's a very, very strong trend that we see these days.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to go a bit deeper on one of the trends you talked about, which is using AI to make the employee experience better and drive workforce engagement. Because traditionally, when we talk about AI in customer service and customer experience, we tend to focus on the customer side. How does AI then help with the employee side and helps support customer service agents?
Traditionally, in the customer service operation environment, there are a lot of processes that, for the most part, were offline in nature. Let's take coaching, for example, right? Coaching used to happen after a call is over, sometimes days after a specific incident happened, right? It's pre scheduled, it happens either face to face or virtually, but it is always kind of in retrospect,
Mm.
which doesn't really help the agents improve, and is also sometimes very generic and happens kind of from the point of view of the supervisor or uh, the customer service manager. With AI, what we really bring in is the ability to do things in real time, so we can guide the agent during the interaction, first of all, giving them all the knowledge that they need about that specific customer, about the journey that they had with the organization before this call happened, and any relevant detail about them. The second thing is that with the deep understanding of the persona of the agent, we can actually give them real time guidance when the conversation is happening. So, for example, if there's a lot of talk over, if
Mm.
there are long periods of silence, if we feel our system knows that they need to speak slower, or the rapport that they're building with the customer is damaged, it is possible with AI to actually guide them in real time to change those behaviors and really adjust the way they behave to what the customer needs and wants, and the way he would like the experience to happen, right? So this is just a really important paradigm shift, I would say, between post interaction or post call coaching into really real time management of an interaction. The second thing is that a lot of the frustration that customer service agents are feeling is coming from just a lot of mundane work that they just don't like doing, right? They have to move between different screens, and they have to learn all these different applications and so forth. And we have the ability to actually identify a lot of automation opportunities to just take all of that from their plate. One of the most hated things is post call summary.
Mm.
And with AI, what can actually be done with actually understanding the intent, the behavior, and the personalities of both the customer and the agent is to create an automatic post call summary that not only makes them more productive because they can move immediately to their next interaction, but also takes something that they absolutely hate off their plate.
Mm.
And, AI is very objective, right? So, from the organization's perspective, they really get what actually happened, right, during the call, and not what somebody just put in.
Yeah, these are great examples and great examples how AI is actually augmenting work and hopefully making it better. As you said, is about improving the employer experience and the employee experience in all of this. And if we can take some of the things that we don't like and give them to AIs, that actually helps us become better service agents and focus on the really human to human things that really matter, I think.
Right. And when sometimes in conversations about AI, there's always this notion of, oh, it's going to replace people, it's going to take over, and so forth. And actually, doing AI right is really creating just a very powerful duo, right, between a human and a data driven process, if you like, that is happening quickly and in an informed way, and just supercharges what humans do.
So how do you expect the customer service agent's role and their experience to change over the next 12 to 18 months?
So, even today, but definitely looking forward, if you think about it, even us, right? When you would call the contact center, it would typically be after you try to do things yourself, research, understand what your options are, right? So the role of an agent is going to be different in two ways. One, they need to be much, much more knowledgeable when they have an interaction. About what you tried doing already, but also to give you more sophisticated answers, right? Because they're going to get only the more complicated topics
Mm.
that people absolutely cannot solve by themselves, or just sometimes I'll take an example from an insurance company. They get those distress calls, right, when something happens, an accident or something like that, and at that time they really need to have people on the other side of the line that are not only knowledgeable and quick but also empathetic, right? So agents needs to be just really much more sophisticated, smart, knowledgeable, and empathetic. That's one thing. The second thing is organizations are going to inject human intervention, I would say, when needed. And this is going to be really the biggest, probably the biggest change in the role of agents, right? They're not going to be at the end of the chain like they are in many cases today, but rather when it's right, when an interaction doesn't necessarily get stuck, but when the organization thinks that this should be addressed by a human. And therefore, what AI will need to do is to give them very, very, very quick context of where they are being injected in the journey,
Mm.
right? So they'll have to pick up from a certain point and help to resolve an issue. So again, this level of sophistication and understanding will just require a lot of tools that will be able to provide agents with nuggets of information that are relevant, consumable, and very, very timely. And
Mm.
this is really what we're trying to do with our customers.
Very good. Yeah, all of these topics are so exciting. Looking into the future, then, what are your hopes and predictions for the future of the customer experience journey?
Mainly for it to be a journey. I think that today there again a lot of efforts are being put into connecting different pieces of customer service and integrating them, but there's still some time, right, and some technology advancements that needs to happen for it to really feel like a journey from the consumers or the end customers perspective. And this is really what I'm kind of my vision for the future, is to really allow for that smooth and fluent journey end to end, and make sure that technology pieces are really not visible to the end customer.
Very good. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with me today, Inat. That was really interesting. If anyone wants to find out more about NICE, where do they go?
So they can, of course, go to our website at www.nice.com or follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter and learn more about the future of customer service.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And anyone who ever wants to re-listen and re-watch this conversation, you can head to my YouTube channel or my podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you.